Now, how many of you all knew that Popeye's red beans and rice contain ham hocks? As a vegetarian going into veganism, I was eating this stuff for so many years, not knowing that there was pork in it. I did not know I had a mouthful of pork, and I would get the big size. I would get the large size. So about 2 years ago, when I was doing the Hidden Pork Project, something told me just to look into why Popeye's red beans taste just as good as they do. Because I've had Zatarain's, I've had Tony C's, all of the Creole recipes, especially living down south. I've had Frenchies, but none of them taste as good as Popeye. So I finally decided to look into it, only to find the beans contain ham hocks. And it's deceptive because you don't see any meat pieces the way you would in your grandmother's pot of red beans and rice. So I'm just sitting there eating it and enjoying it, wondering what is in this stuff. So I felt very deceived. And no one loved Popeye's red beans and rice the way I did. If you go to certain grocery stores, they say contains nuts, contains soy, contains dairy, contains this, contains that. With all the vegetarians, vegans, and people with religious dietary restrictions, you think that they would at least say contains pork or contains animal product. I think it's a bit unfair that they do not let their consumers know that there is pork in the red beans and rice. So what I have for you is a mock recipe of Popeye's red beans and rice, and it's rich, it's creamy, and it's Creole. I know a lot of my recipes contain a lot of ingredients, but when you're trying to veganize a dish and get it to taste like the omnivore version of the dish, you have to do a little extra to it, because remember, we're not using MSG and a bunch of poisonings and things in our food. So we have to use natural sea salts, herbs, and spices to get our food to taste just as good without the poisoning. So just trust me, I'm going to give you a list of spices that you can stock up on. That way when you see my list and you see a long list of things to put in your ingredients, then you won't be like, oh, why she have all that stuff on there? Okay, so we are going to veganize this. Just be patient with me, follow the ingredients, and you'll have your Popeye's tasting red beans. And I've soaked my beans overnight, and I've taken them out of my beans. So now I'm adding my distilled, filtered, or purified water. Now I'm going to add 5 of either not beef bouillon cubes or not chicken bouillon cubes. Your choice. You can mix them up. Now I'm going to add my cumin. And me, I just add my ingredients to taste. Some turmeric and a little Jamaican curry powder. I'm just being redundant, but I like to add the curry powder in there also. You don't have to. That's something I do. A little chili powder. Now the ingredients I'm calling off, this is if you do not have Cajun seasoning. Cajun seasoning does contain chili powder. My veggie salve, liquid smoke. Use a lot of it if you want that smoky Popeye's flavor. Bay leaves. You can always remove the bay leaves later on too, and they make an excellent garnish. A little W sauce. Paprika, and now we are ready to cook. Now at this point we're going to add our tomato paste, a little organic pureed ginger, optional. We're just going to continue stirring this. kind of check out the progress of my beans. Okay, gonna let them cook for a little longer and we'll be right back. Now I'm adding my plain flavored almond milk to make my beans a little more creamier. Okay, I have a little red bean mess here, but just bear with me. Now before I present my beans, allow me to suggest using millet instead of rice because it's healthier for you, and I will list some nutritional facts on the screen. I normally do not cook rice in my home, especially white rice. But for the purpose of presentation, I will present to you a white rice to go with the red beans. Bon appetit!